Set the mission. So directly go to 28. I can start the mission. I decided that it would be fun to watch to give you the missions. Let's start.
What's happening?
Right. Yeah. Wind blade. With the wind!
Let it
power of Gugwa. Rain outlines your fate.
Rise. Hey.
Windblade!
Yeah. Hey!
I'll never surrender. Disappear!
So soon.
Go, go, Baron Bunny! No escape!
Windblade!
Wheel of life.
Prepare yourself.
Oh. Faster.
No, my sword! Ring cutter! Let it rain.
Wind blade.
Rise.
Go, Baron Bunny!
Disappear. Wind blade. With the wind.
No escape!
Life goes on. Opening box of Adepti tricks. Faster? Okay, faster. Go. Ha. Hey. Ta.
Yeah. Collector. I have to finish this one. About to... First, let's collect our adventure guild. There.
Ad Astra Ab.
Right. What do you mean by HYD? Yeah, my mic is low, so I'm sorry about that. Wait 1 minute. Yes. It should be good now. My bad, I had the mic, so maybe that's why there is loud sound. My bad. I was trying to find out what's going on so that I can increase the sound.
Look up there! That's the Jade Chamber! This is bad. Paimon's supposed to be your guide, but Paimon doesn't know where the way up to the Jade Chamber is. Well, since we want to go to the Jade Chamber, heading to its location on the map is the sensible thing to do. Let's look around. There has to be a way up there nearby. Hey, look! There's some sort of mechanism thingy. Since this is the right place, it must have something to do with the Jade Chamber. Yes, this must be the way.
Windblade!
Yeah, greedy.
It only takes us up to here. Aw, if that wind current was stronger, we'd be able to reach the top in one go. Huh? Why? Or... Oh, Paimon gets it! If it was a secret, Ganyu wouldn't have let us try to find it ourselves, right? Alright, let's follow your plan. Then we can... Oh, hang on a moment. Look down there. Looks like we've gotten close to the Qixing ballista. Paimon has a new idea. Why don't we shoot you up to the Jade Chamber using the ballista? Oh, right. This method does seem a bit unsafe. Oh, that's right! Now that you mention it, we could use the Qixing ballista to see if there's another way up nearby.
I'll keep this close. Windblade!
It's either hit or miss.
Halt! Who trespasses on these hallowed grounds?
Exactly. What are you talking about? We're invited guests. What makes you think you can treat us like this? No. Wait. Maybe this was Ningguang's plan all along. She pretended to invite us to the Jade Chamber, but set up a millilith... now Paimon's mad! You! Over there! This is a trick, isn't it? How shameless!
What? We're just on guard duty. What do you mean, shameless?
What nonsense! Seize these suspicious intruders at once!
Well, here they come! Line them up and knock them down!
Disappear!
Take the target alive!
Let me read you a verse.
Beaten! Who goes there?
With the wind!
No one escapes my sights.
Attack! Tactical retreat! Take this! Bested.
Stop! What's all this about?
Lady Qixing, these two strange people suddenly appeared. They seem to have designs on the Qixing ballista.
Who are you calling strange?
You want to go to the Jade Chamber? Who are you?
We're invited guests here to look for the Liyue Qixing. Who are you?
Well, as it happens, I am one of the Liyue Qixing.
Who?
I'm Qixing, the Yuheng of the Qixing. I know of you, traveler. You're Ningguang's guests, yes? Didn't expect to meet you here in the mountains.
Wow. Paimon didn't think we'd meet some super rich big shot out here in the middle of nowhere either.
The Qixing ballista in Tianheng Pass has long been in disrepair, and yet it was fixed in a single night. I came here to investigate that occurrence. These Millilith are just here to guard the scene, not to arrest anyone.
So this was all a misunderstanding? But
Anyway, for a mortal to be able to repair an Adepti mechanism is quite the mystery, even to the Qixing.
that was... Eh? Oh, right. So, Lady Yuheng, might you have any idea why Lady Tianquan invited us to go to the Jade Chamber?
Just call me Qixing. I'd say that Ningguang's purpose is to request that the savior of Mondstadt take a more neutral stance. Or at least, to not wholly side with the Adepti.
We're not taking sides. We spoke with the Adepti. They want to protect Liyue as well.
When you say protect, you're referring to their sanctimonious arrogance, aren't you?
Huh?
You are mortals, and thus under their protection. There was no way they would have regarded you as someone with the ability to assassinate a god. Naturally, they would also regard Ningguang's locking down the area, questioning the citizenry, and pursuit of the assassin to be pointless work. Perhaps they even wonder if there might be a cover-up. I'll say it like it is. They're underestimating us.
Well, you've got a point there. Still, this is the first time Paimon's seen a person from Liyue who doesn't respect the gods or the Adepti.
Should I respect the shallow sense of time and condescension to mortals that has caused them to delay in moving against us, Qixing? Forget it. I shouldn't speak of them this way. This skepticism is mine alone, and Ningguang does not share it. Either way, I will admit that the actions of the Adepti this time were quite restrained. Rex Lapis's death is indeed an extraordinary circumstance. But to think that they would call for a council of Adepti rather than come down here directly. How surprisingly civilized of them. Well, for Ningguang, she would talk anything and everything out if she could. But I doubt we can do that here. The time of the Adepti has long passed. If even the Liyue Qixing don't want to face that truth, then what future is there for Liyue?
Another super bold statement.
I'll stop here. Honestly, I hadn't intended to say so much. But you're a good listener, Traveler. You should both be off to the Jade Chamber. Don't be late now. Ningguang's schedule is packed to the gills all the way till next year. The cream of Liyue's mercantile crop all see ascending to the Jade Chamber as the greatest honor. Each brings rich gifts as they visit, all to curry a little favor with Ningguang.
Favor? But wait, that's right. Greeting gifts are a staple of Liyue's culture. We need to get one. Not to curry favor or anything, just to...
Alright. You can decide on your greeting gift yourselves. Let me tell you how to get to the Jade Chamber first. You didn't actually have to come to Mount Tianheng. Go back to Liyue Harbor. Find a guide at the Yuehai Pavilion, and... well then. May we meet again, Traveler.
Well, that Yuheng may not respect the gods, but Paimon thinks she's a pretty cool person. So, what should we give to Ningguang when we see her? Oh, right! Paimon dreamed of an amazing snack last night! Sugar-frosted slime! Paimon has a feeling that it would be perfect for a super rich person like Ningguang. Why don't we go with that for a gift? Nope! But Paimon's sure that we just need to make it with some boom shakalaka. Let's go gather ingredients. Time waits for no one, and neither will our riches. slime. It looks crystal clear and very delicious. That's the one. Is it just Paimon? Or is there a sweet fragrance in the air? Huh? Did you hear that? It seemed like it came from those ruins over there. Uh-oh. It looks like the treasure hoarders have locked someone inside.
Windblade!
Thank you for your help, kind travelers. If you hadn't come to my aid, I surely would have rotted in this cell. Those treasure hoarders, when their mood was good, they'd rearrange those pots of sweet flowers. When they were in a bad mood, they'd rearrange my face.
Aw, it was nothing. No need to thank us all at once or anything.
I understand. Don't worry, I will compensate you both. Don't say that. I only escaped this predicament because of... I'm Meng Dan, a supplier for Qixing jewelry in Liyue Harbor. I often walk around these mountains in search of antiques. I never expected that those treasure hoarders would have their eyes on the same ruins that I had. Before I knew it, they'd caught and imprisoned me. Is there anything that you lack? Antiques, treasure, various knickknacks, you name it.
Wait a moment. Actually, we are looking for something.
Oh? And what might that be?
Do you have a box that can store presents? We'd like a pretty one. The kind that you can use to store snacks.
Of course we do. How can one sell antiques without gift boxes? At Qixing Jewelry, we have the best gift wrapping service in the 7 nations. Now just give me a moment and I'll let the boss know. You can go see her whenever you require that box.
Great! Paimon's sugar frosted slime now comes in a beautiful package. A guy called Meng Dan told us that we could get a nice and shiny box from your store.
Uncle Meng already told me about it. Thank you both for saving him. Many of the best goods in our store were found by Uncle Meng. If anything were to happen to him, it would be impossible for us to continue doing business. Here, this container is itself an antique, with at least 140 years of history. It's already been cleaned. Will it do?
Yep. It's great. Hang on a moment. Could we borrow one other thing?
Sure. Please help yourselves, as long as it's on our shelves.
Traveler, this clay pot looks really awesome. If we use an antique as our mixing bowl, we should be able to make a great snack. It's done! The one and only sugar-frosted slime! Carefully now. Into the box it goes and dust it over with a bit more powdered sugar.
Oh, yes. You might want to use these 2 freshly picked flowers as decorations, too.
Woohoo! It looks beautiful! Great! Now that we've put all that we've got into this box, let's go to the Jade Chamber to see Ningguang. According to Qixing, this is what we should say. Excuse me, do you sell the moon here?
Yes. How many would you like?
It's not convenient to speak of numbers here.
Ah, well said. Please, use this to ascend to the chamber. Yes, speaking of which, are you two the guests that Lady Ningguang has arranged to meet with today?
Yep.
And yet the code they used was not the one for guests, but for the Yuheng. What's going on here?
I've been waiting for you, returnee from Jueyun Karst.
It's Ningguang! Since this is our first meeting, we've prepared a gift. I hope you like it.
Oh, for me. You have my thanks. It seems that I have made things difficult for you, considering that you were supposed to be my guests.
Oh no, it's nothing.
I'm glad you like it too. This palace floats in the skies, higher than the peak of any mountain. From this vantage point, one may survey all of Liyue. I have been gathering the funds necessary to build it from the time I began learning the merchant's craft. And since becoming the Tianquan, I have spared no effort in hiring the best craftsmen to constantly extend it. At first, it was but the size of one room. Now, it is large enough to blot out the moon in the skies above Liyue. One day, I believe it will overshadow all 7 nations. Not many from outside Liyue earn the right to ascend to the Jade Chamber. But I have been in correspondence with the acting Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius, who spoke highly of you. As such, I have been putting eyes and ears out ever since you reached Liyue.
What?
And I finally got wind of your movements when you were on the way to Wangshu Inn.
Wait, was Vergoldet one of your people?
Just Vergoldet? No. Everyone at Wangshu Inn is one of ours. At the Guizhang Ballista, yes?
You weren't peeking on us from the skies the whole time, were you?
I fear that peeking would have been a little difficult from this altitude. Our eyes and ears are more than sufficient. You two are very interesting people, after all. It would be natural to take an interest. Well, I wouldn't expect you to trust us, considering that you have had far more interactions with the Adepti. The reason I invited you here was to clear up some misunderstandings. I believe that you've heard of the Archon War. Many gods used to walk this earth, and many long wars were fought between them that did not abate until 2,000 years ago. Much blood was shed, and many lives were lost. In the end, only 7 victors remained standing in Tevat. They built cities and nations on the corpses of the vanquished, and thus began the era of the 7. You can see Goyun Stone Forest from here, I trust. It is no natural rock formation. Those are giant spears of rock hurled by Rex Lapis during the war. Beneath the spears lie those cast down by Rex Lapis in those days, gods that failed to seize the title of Archon. Not only is it true that gods may die, but so too has the membership of the 7 changed over the last 2 millennia. Rex Lapis's passing is an unimaginable disaster for Liyue, but the Order of the 7 will not collapse simply because of that. Another Lord of Geo will arise sooner or later. Yet, how are we to forget Rex Lapis? When that time comes, the relationship between the people of Liyue and the gods and Adepti will surely be different from before. Even in a new era, the Liyue Qixing remain Rex Lapis's former subjects. Do you really think us capable of having played a part in his demise? Of lacking the foresight to see the certain repercussions? That day at Yujing Terrace, it was also very sudden. Even I was caught completely off guard. You were there, you no doubt saw. But our enemy has long lain hidden within the harbor. If we do not act against them now, they will surely gain the upper hand. Hiding the Exuvio was a necessary maneuver to take the initiative back, to play the spider while our foes scurry about.
Who's this enemy you're talking about?
What do you think, traveler?
Huh? What are you two talking about?
Well answered. The scenery out here is fine indeed, but the wind is a little strong. Our preparations to receive guests within are complete, so please, this way.
Wowee! What a huge hall! Paimon's never seen such a fancy place before.
Be at ease, you two. Make yourselves at home if you wish.
Can we really?
I have invited you two here as friends. And when friends come over to play, our enjoyment comes first. Naturally.
Ooh! Isn't this that legendary wall?
Why, you've kept your ear to the ground, I see.
That's because even talking about it. Everyone's after a piece of paper from that wall. It's super famous.
That's because that wall records Liyue's secrets. Merchants have always been attracted to secrets. But the secrets of the mercantile world are of no interest to you, are they, traveler? You're rather special, really, and I think you're quite aware of that. If possible, I'd like to have your trust. But if you were to choose the more trustworthy person between myself and Qixing... You'd pick Qixing? Nah, I had a feeling. I originally thought her a bit too hard-headed. With someone of her character on the Qixing, I've had some extra messes to clean up behind the scenes. But after she said those words, the time of the Adepti has long passed. If even the Liyue Qixing don't want to face that truth, then what future is there for Liyue? Well, I must say that quite a few of my doubts have been dispelled. I won't deny that Rex Lapis's passing seems advantageous to us. But, for Liyue's sake, we cannot allow ourselves to be shackled by rumors of our usurpation of power. Indeed. It seems that you understood what I meant to say from the very beginning. I called for the gag order and for the exuvia to be hidden to temporarily stabilize the situation, and also to prevent something similar to the incident in Mondstadt. With Rex Lapis's death, the Fatui have busied themselves with many clandestine actions beyond their diplomatic remit. As the Tianquan, one responsible for Liyue, I cannot be too concerned with appearances when opposing them. Allowing the rite of parting to take place was also meant to buy some time for us to take control of Liyue's administration.
It's exactly as Zhongli said. The Qixing only provided the venue for the rite so they could use us for their own ends. Wait, that's right. Speaking of ends, could I say one other thing?
Of course.
Paimon's heard that anyone who sends a greeting gift gets a little something in return.
It's all right. I like direct people. Well, we have made quite a bit of trouble for you recently. How about this? You can pick any one object here as you please, and you may take it with you.
Yay! Paimon was just waiting for you to say that! Let's see, what should we get? One of the sheets on that wall! Don't look at Paimon like that! One of these sheets of paper will sell for crazy prices, even if it's only as large as Paimon's fingernail. Just imagine how much more a whole untorn sheet would sell for. Let's grab one! The biggest one! Huh? Well, that was an easy search. The biggest sheet is right up there in the most obvious spot. Let's go with that one. La 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 la. Let's see what's written on it. Huh? There's a place marked with a circle on here. Oh, could it be treasure? Whatever it is, it better make us filthy rich. Let's see what's written over here. Sigil of permission, something, something, Fatui, research, copy. Huh? Aw, that doesn't sound like treasure at all. This piece of paper shows that a Qixing spy discovered traces of classified Fatui research on the Sigil of Permission. Oh, Ningguang did say that the Fatui have been up to all kinds of mischief in the shadows of Liyue, spreading rumors, wanting to get their hands on the Archon's body and whatnot. But research on the Sigil of Permission? Paimon wonders what they're up to. Speaking of which, there's also some connection between you and the Sigil of Permission. Seems there's still more for us to find. Oh, you really think so? Well, should we not go then? Oh, so you're saying that it's precisely because we can't completely trust Ningguang that we should confirm the truth of what she says for ourselves. That's way out of Paimon's league. Paimon thinks she's been nothing but good to us. Anyway, we'll see if you're onto something. Before we look for Zhongli at Dihua Marsh, let's go to the place marked out on these papers and see if the Fatui really are up to no good there.
No escape! Life goes on. Sacred name, fortune preserver.
I slipped up. This isn't right. Of death.
Windblade!
Shouldn't get careless. Have a load of this.
Here. And some stacks of blank paper, too. Paimon's seen this pattern before. But where? Oh, Paimon knows! It looks just like the sigil of permission the child gave you. But how did a relic of the Adepti end up in the hands of someone like Child? Suspicious. Oh, that's right. Cloud Retainer said that when the Lord of Geo created the Sigil of Permission, it wasn't to be used as some old relic. Talismans like that were once used in the Archon War to channel divine powers. Maybe the Fatui are copying the Sigil of Permission in hopes of achieving a similar effect. Being able to channel divine power in battle? Whew, that sounds pretty dangerous. And the plot thickens. We'll need to keep an eye on Child, that's for sure. Alright, that's enough sticking around here. We gotta go meet up with Zhongli soon. The last stop on our rite of parting preparations tour is Dihua Marsh. Let's go! Paimon hates being late.
Right on time. I myself only arrived moments ago. Did you enjoy your visit to the Jade Chamber?
It was so big and pretty and expensive. Paimon's never seen such a fancy schmancy place before.
Indeed. It's second to none in all of Liyue. Then you met with Ningguang, I trust? What did you talk about with her?
She's super rich and so generous. Paimon thinks she's very friendly. Yeah, his take on Ningguang is quite different from Paimon's. He thinks that even the tactless Yuheng is more trustworthy than her.
Oh, so you also met with Qixing then? What did she have to say?
She said the time of the Adepti has long passed. If even the Liyue Qixing don't want to face that truth, then what future is there for Liyue?
No respect for the divine. Indeed, contrary to the ever-bold Qixing, Ningguang is more of a businesswoman at heart, though they are both members of the Qixing. Although she's friendly, there's no way of clearly discerning her true intentions. Yes, she has only relied on herself to rise to her current position. No ordinary person could ever achieve that. It's said that she's the one behind the constant expansion of the Jade Chamber. It's the second most important thing to her. Even if she ever gave up the position of Tianquan, she would never give up the Jade Chamber.
The Jade Chamber is only second. What's the most important thing to her then?
Why, Mora, of course.
All Ningguang talked about was the Fatui this and the Fatui that. She said that after Rex Lapis was murdered, the Fatui have constantly been trying to sink their fingers into Liyue, and that they aren't to be trusted.
That is how the Fatui have always been. It doesn't surprise me in the least. No matter what they may be planning, you must be careful when dealing with the Fatui. Always be on your guard.
So, is there anything we need to get for the rite of parting in Dihua Marsh?
Yes, as a matter of fact, there is. Today, we'll be gathering wild glaze lilies.
Glaze lilies? But why did we come all the way out here? Doesn't the garden in Yujing Terrace have some? Even Qingse Village has glaze lilies. Oh, right! Paimon remembers that Madame Ping is always tending to flowers. Maybe we could ask her.
No. Those lilies have all been gardened by people. They won't do it all. Dihua Marsh used to be full of glaze lilies. It is a sort of joyful flower that listens to human song. Before the Archon War, Dihua Marsh was all dry land and fertile soil. But the war caused landslides, and the land was flooded, turning it into the marsh you see now. Nearly all the glaze lilies were wiped out. Of course, there are some kinds of flowers that have been preserved and gardened by people in the city. But very few people know that glaze lilies may still be found in the wild. Wild glaze lilies have the strongest fragrance. If we want to follow the true tradition of the rite of parting, we must grind up the wild lilies and place the powder in a censer of everlasting incense. But I'll need your assistance in gathering these flowers. That's correct. Your singing will surely bring out the strongest fragrance from the flowers.
So how good is your singing? Really? Why doesn't Paimon believe you?
We'll only know once he starts singing.
It's time to sing, whenever you're ready.
Da 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 da.
What happened?
What
These
the
flowers
fuck?
are jumping. They look really angry. Is it because you sing a song for Mondstadt that they don't understand here in Liyue?
Let's go.
Body and mind. I let my...
Those weren't glaze lilies. Glaze lilies wouldn't hit people.
This little monster is known as a whopper flower. Strange. These petals look interesting. The glaze lilies used as a disguise were buried with the whopper flower for too long. The result seems to have surprisingly potent medicinal value. Let's collect what we can of these petals.
Well, that's nice and all, but will those petals be useful for the rite of parting?
Unfortunately, no.
That's so lame.
Excuse me. Are you searching for glaze lilies?
Oh, hey! It's... What's-her-face?
Hello, traveler. I'm surprised you still remember my name. Ah! That reminds me. How was your visit to the Jade Chamber?
Well, it sure would have been better if you told us how to get up there.
Didn't I tell you the way? Surely I did.
Nope. We found the way on our own.
Oh, I see. Uh-oh. I guess I really did forget to tell them.
Huh. Something seems a little off about Ganyu. She's acting different from the first time we met. Where's her serious attitude now?
Ah, well, I met you at that time as an emissary of the Tianquan. But now, I am simply out on a stroll to see the flowers.
You came all the way out here to see the flowers? Why not just enjoy the gardens of the city?
Yujing Terrace is where Rex Lapis parted from this world. If I strolled through those lonely gardens now, I wouldn't be able to bear it. Whenever my duties take me near Yujing Terrace these days, I draw the windows to block my view of the gardens.
Oh, sorry. We shouldn't have brought it up.
No, it's quite all right. I just haven't processed my emotions yet. When the Archon War came to its end 2,000 years ago, the first iteration of the Seven would gather in Liyue and drink with Rex Lapis. But 5 of those original 7 had already passed before Rex Lapis. It's truly a changing of the guard. Yes. Now that the spirit of Rex Lapis has returned to the heavens, only Barbados of Mondstadt remains of the first 7. The other 5, including Inazuma's rite and Shogun, are no longer the same friends from 2,000 years ago. Of the current 7 Archons, the youngest is Sumeru's god of Dendro. She is merely 500 years old, whereas Rex Lapis was more than 6,000 years old at the time of his passing. This means that Liyue had been under Rex Lapis's rule from the moment it was first founded 3,700 years ago. The city has never had to bid farewell to its deity.
So what do you think of this farewell?
Huh? This is a little sudden. As a mortal, I've never dared to imagine a Liyue without Rex Lapis. But as an Adeptus, I think I will eventually come to grips with reality. Since Rex Lapis has passed, the time of Liyue's contract with the gods and Adepti has now reached its end.
Huh? Did you just say, as an Adeptus?
Yes, I am a mix of human and Qixing. Adeptus blood flows through my veins. I fought for Rex Lapis and the city of Liyue during the Archon War. After the war ended, I signed a contract with Rex Lapis and took the position as secretary for the Qixing. I've continued those duties to this very day. Well, let's save that conversation for another day. You say that you are here looking for glaze lilies? I also know where wild glaze lilies can be found. See, I've just picked one myself. Here, you may have it if you wish.
We dare not refuse it.
Oh, so did you sing a song before you picked the lily?
Indeed, I did. I know this tradition well. In fact, I sang a local Liyue ballad to it.
Wow, so you really know your stuff, too. Thanks, Gunyu.
No, it is you who I should be thanking. If not for this chance meeting, I never thought that I would be able to contribute to the upcoming farewell for our ancient lord. If you would excuse me, I should return to my work now. Good luck.
And that just about does it. Our preparations for the rite of parting are mostly finished. Given the ease of picking glaze lilies, I think this was a fitting end to our tasks. In more...
Yeah, Paimon can already imagine him starting a business in Liyue.
I've had enough ventures in my life already. Beginning a new undertaking is always difficult at first, and requires no small amount of effort. And once business is at full steam, the stress of it all only wears away at you over time. So you must be careful to take the time to step back and re-examine yourself. If left unchecked, the wear and tear on your heart may go well past mending.
Wow. See? Zhongli sounds like he's already seen it all. Alright, I think it's about time we head back to Liyue Harbor now. Huh? What happened? The city gate is swarming with Millilith and...
Ah, you're the consultant to Wangsheng Funeral Parlor. Mr. Zhongli, I presume. The Millilith are watching our every move now. These are desperate times. We mustn't act rashly.
Desperate times?
The Adepti of Joyun Karst are finally on the move.
Do they intend to exercise force?
Most likely. I've heard that some members of the Qixing have already gone to meet them. Well, I say meet, but it's more like they're attempting to stall the Adepti outside the city. However, both sides were quite obstinate and hit an impasse.
It seems inevitable, given the current situation.
The Adepti do not acknowledge the Qixing. They only acknowledge the contracts of the Geo-Archon. If the two sides come to blows, Liyue Harbor will be in no position to stop them.
Surely the Liyue Qixing are not the sort to give in so easily.
Their boneheadedness is known throughout the lands. Yet it's because of that obstinacy that mortals and Adepti are now on the verge of conflict.
And what now? How is it that the Fatui have come under fire?
That's all Ningguang's doing. She proclaimed that in these tumultuous times, the Millilith must rein in the actions of the Fatui. Only now do they want to start keeping tabs on us? That's the Qixing for you. Anyway, Mr. Zhongli, you're one of Child's close associates. Please understand that your actions will reflect on us. Don't let anyone catch you off guard.
It looks like things are about to boil over in Liyue Harbor.
Do you intend to use your neutral identity as an intermediary between both sides? Or will you use your sword to turn the balance? Neither path is an easy one.
Oh, by the way, Mr. Zhongli, we've heard that the Wangsheng Funeral Parlor has also been caught up in all of this. They're currently squaring off with the authorities at the gates.
Things are taking a turn for the worse. I'm afraid I must leave now to handle things back at Wangsheng Funeral Parlor. I hope that Master Hu has been able to keep things under control for the moment. Consider your next course of action carefully, Traveler. If you're trying to prevent an explosion, it may be wisest to look for the fuse first.
Whew. Having connections with the Fatui seems to be quite the double-edged sword. So what does Zhongli mean by looking for the fuse? Oh, Paimon gets it! If there's anyone that wants to see the whole city turned upside down, it's definitely him! He must be waiting for the moment when no one is watching to do something really bad. But where could we find him now? Where would he go at a time like this?
I'll keep an eye on you.
Wow! This is the Golden House? It looked impressive enough from the outside, but who would have guessed that it was even fancier on the inside? And so full of Mora! This is where all of Teyvat's Mora is minted, right? In that case, maybe they won't notice if a few Mora go missing. Oh, so it's a trap! Tricky, tricky. Good thing Paimon's got you here. But even if we can't take any, we can still have a closer look, right? Or better yet, take a nap on top of a mountain of Mora! It's like a dream come true! Oh, right! Back to business. It's quiet. Too quiet. Surely someone's gotta be guarding something as important as the Exuvia. Huh? Look! What happened here? Uh-oh. Paimon smells trouble. Quick! We have to go make sure that the Exuvia is all right.
You've already fulfilled your task as guides, so why do you still linger here? Haven't you already seen enough trouble for today?
Huh? Who's there?
If you were Fatui, I imagine that you would be entitled to a generous reward from the Tsaritsa herself. But now, You're nothing but dross, and you're in my way. Although I'm deeply grateful to you that I was able to effortlessly find this secret location, don't you think that trying to stop me now would just be wasted effort? Stopping the Mora Mints, hiding away the Exuvia. The Qixing are really pulling out all the stops this time.
So you've been planning to take the Gnosis from inside the Exuvia all along?
As one of the 11 Fatui Harbingers, it's my duty to see the will of the Tsaritsa fulfilled. She will get that which she desires. I'm not asking for your blessing, and there's nothing you can do to stop me anyway. The time for discussion and diplomacy has already passed. I mean, if it were up to me, I would have skipped that stage to begin with. But I'm willing to do as the Tsaritsa deems fit. Either way, we now come to my favorite part. A simple pleasure, and one that I am oh so delighted to be sharing with you. The battle.
Battle? So you're the type that goes looking for trouble, huh?
You could say that. When Signora offended the deities outside the cathedral in Mondstadt, she swiftly left the scene once her mission was accomplished. Instead of confronting you directly, she chose to rely on the snow and ice to make her escape. She wouldn't want the knights to come running towards the sound of battle now, would she? When she faces a worthy opponent, she will prioritize her mission, weigh the outcomes, and consider the consequences of her actions. But as for me, the greatest pleasure of being a Harbinger lies in crossing blades with strong opponents.
We won't let what happened in Mondstadt ever happen again!
Oh, so you intend to fight me? Good. I won't kill you, Traveler. I'll just play along, to feel the thrill of battle. Besides, you could never defeat me, not even in your wildest dreams. But hey, fighting talk, I love it! Now let's see you live up to it. This chance is hard to come by, so show me all you've got. So very few ever get the chance to square off with a Fatui Harbinger. So come now, amuse me, and don't you dare disappoint. Try this.
You're in for a little shock. You've been a naughty boy.
Already?
Bet you can't keep up with me!
Celestial Voyager! How unbecoming. Not bad, not bad. Guess I should take you more serious. Haha, good. No wonder Signora was so wary of you. Well, that just means I can go all out. Brace yourself. This is about to get tough. Now, show me what you can do against the might of a Harbinger.
No escape! Get him!
Windblade!
Crush you! All you do is run. Tide! Not bad. Your swordsmanship is quite impressive. But that's about as far as you'll get. Didn't think you had that card hidden up your sleeve.
You were just playing it to get close to the Exuvia!
Oh, quiet down. Stop acting like some wide-eyed recruit. You've seen this world. You of all people should know. This should have been expected! Well then, I'll be taking more Axis Gnosis now! Huh? I see. Well, this is most unexpected. You beat me to it, didn't you?
Come on.
Not bad. But this is going to cost you! Yeah! You got to the Gnosis ahead of me, didn't you? Did you simply move faster? Or did you leak the information regarding the Golden House to me on purpose? No matter. Hand the Gnosis over, now! Don't make me take it from you!
We didn't take it!
I let my guard down.
With the wind!
Die here.
You're in for a little...
You're a cut above.
Look! Child's back to normal again!
Well then, time to cool off. It seems the burden of the foul legacy transformation was too great for my body. I lacked the opportunity to think this through. And now that I consider the matter more carefully, you never had any chance of beating me to the Gnosis. You had no connection to the Gnosis, no matter where it had been taken.
That's what we've been trying to tell you! We didn't take it!
Your show of ability today far surpasses that of Signora's initial assessment of you in Mondstadt. Tell me, how could that be? You already know the answer, don't you? I can see it in your eyes. But if that is a secret you wish to keep, I guess I'll just have to curb my curiosity. This battle has already left me satisfied. Anyone who strives as I do to grow stronger shall be called a friend, even if our friendship can only be shown in battle against one another.
Pretty sure that's not the normal way to make friends.
Unfortunately, I must bring this amiable conversation to an end. My quest still beckons. Given that the Gnosis wasn't taken by anyone, then we must look once again to the beginning. Perhaps it was never in the Exuvia to begin with. In fact, it might be that the Exuvia was just a diversion of sorts.
What? So you mean that...
Yes, it appears so. Interesting to say the least. It seems that the guardian deity of the capital of commerce is also well versed in little maneuvers beyond the boundaries of contracts. As such, we must now look to our backup plan.
Backup plan?
I had hoped it would never come to this, for the weak will be swept away in the process. The truth is, the world belongs to those who pursue strength. I seldom willingly involve myself with the weak. Unfortunately, we cannot be picky about our methods as Fatui Harbingers. Children must all learn to eat their vegetables sometime.
So what are you planning to do?
I will awaken the god that lies dormant beneath Guyon's stone forest.
A god?
Osial, overlord of the Vortex, who was defeated by Morax, the Geo-Archon in the Archon War, and who has remained pinned beneath the waves by the Geo-Archon's stone spears ever since. If such an ancient god were to be unleashed upon Liyue Harbor, defenseless without the protection of its deity, do you think the cunning Rex Lapis would just stand aloof and watch the ensuing destruction?
But the Archon War ended 2,000 years ago. How can an ancient god appear in a world now overseen by the Seven?
Simple. I've already prepared the means to awaken it.
Hey, those are sigils of permission! Oh, Paimon remembers now. The Fatui have been researching them!
Indeed. The one that was given to you was just a byproduct of our research. With the power of so many sigils of permission concentrated in one place, along with that which was bestowed upon me as a harbinger by our Tsaritsa, breaking the subduing might of the Geo-Archon spears for a time should be no obstacle. Using the powers of ancient gods in such a situation fails to interest me, and is largely against my principles. But knowing that such an action will not only force the Geo-Archon to show its hand, but you as well, that makes matters a little more intriguing. Let's see. Will the nation that has lost its deity be swallowed up by an ancient malice once more? If you wish to drown together with the people of Liyue, you're free to stay and enjoy the show.
Huh? He's already gone! That guy is fast! What's going on? Exhausted. If we hadn't happened to see the Jade Chamber flying over just as we came out of the Golden House, we really wouldn't have known which way to go. Did we make it in time? Is the Overlord of the Vortex still in the sea? It hasn't destroyed Liyue yet, has it?
What are you doing here?
Huh? Hold on. It's the Adept guy. What are you doing on the Jade Chamber? Paimon thought you were arguing with the Qixing. Is the fighting over?
Faced with a calamity of such magnitude, we have agreed to put our differences aside for now and unite against this common enemy.
Oh, Paimon gets it. So how do you plan to defend Liyue? Just seeing this Overlord of the Vortex guy puts a pit in Paimon's tummy, even from all the way out here.
It's not just you. We've got new Millelith recruits who can't even stand at attention without shaking. The force of an ancient god's presence seems to be too much for ordinary people to handle. Which is why we must stop that monster before it gets any closer to Liyue Harbor.
So the Archon War was fought 2,000 years ago against enemies like that thing? Now that's scary. So will the power of the Qixing, Millelith, and Adepti gathered here be enough to stop that god?
We've already discussed this together, and our conclusion is... not necessarily.
What? But all of you are supposed to be the guardians of Liyue. Can't you think of something?
One certainly could.
Huh?
The Qixing did once research the matter of the Guizhong Ballista when it piqued their fancy. And as fate would have it, one who did craft the Guizhong Ballista with one's own hands is here. For what could you mortals ever learn of Adepti mechanisms? Yet, it would take one, but a little tinkering to turn this ballista into an engine of war beyond your wildest thoughts.
I suppose this is one blessing from the Adepti that we should be thankful for. So be it. We shall use the upgraded Guizhong Ballista to fight off that god. All the Adepti here can lend their strength to man it. We haven't a moment to spare. Our battle begins now.
Yep.
The three Adepti are manning the Guizhong Ballista. Do not let the Fatui disturb their work!
All able Millelith, with me!
Let's go help too!
We Adepti have not faced a god in several millennia. Let one see what you're made of then. What strength remains within you, one wishes to witness.
Try not to enjoy this too much. You?
I miscalculated.
That is Osial's divine power. I am very familiar with it. Be careful not to get hit.
Yep, I get hit.
The Fatui! Their attacks are unrelenting!
How daring. Snezhnai's diplomats will answer for this afterward. Every last one.
Time to fulfill my duty. No slacking off.
Were you about to say we can't hold them, children? Don't lose heart. Here, take this.
This is adeptal energy. That light from your body. It's like the time in Julian Cars. Wow, it's Madame Ping's shockwave. This granny's really strong.
Disappear!
I miscalculated.
Disgusting. No slacking my work. Finished.
With the blood of the Qixing, I guard you against evil. Cast your fear of injury by the wayside and fight with all your might. I too did this during the Archon War.
So this is what Ganyu... Like in a fight!
My name means swiftness. Take my power and run as I do.
We're going too fast!
Can't understand that. I don't know what to do.
Child, you are strong in body and spirit. Perhaps you can withstand 3 forms of adeptal energy at once.
This will hurt a little. Please bear with us.
Once you've adapted, try to use them in battle.
Naughty boy.
This isn't good.
Look at me. Come a little closer. Surrender and I'll be gentle.
No excuse for my duty.
Exercise caution. I fear that the god's power has reached its peak.
In other words, if we hold here, there's nothing worse to come, right? Too much. Split.
I guess this is it. Don't get in the way.
You're in for a little shock. Let's spark things up a little. Surrender and I'll be gentle. Come a little closer.
The Fatui's numbers are thinning!
Fight on, comrades! Once we finish this lot off, the Adepti will be able to deal with the god in peace.
The interlopers are no more. Now we may commit ourselves fully.
Be careful now.
The Guizhong Ballista is destroyed. Without its covering fire, retaliation shall be difficult.
But the Jade Chamber is our last line of defense. We can't give another inch, no matter what.
I have another idea.
What do you mean, Lady Ningguang?
I'll sacrifice the Jade Chamber.
What is the meaning of this?
I understand.
Traveler, lend me a hand. Farewell, old friend. Goodbye for now. Let us meet again in the future.
Take him there.
Is it finally over?
The ominous aura of that monster has indeed begun to fade. The effects of the Sigil of Permission last but a short time. It will be some time before the Overlord of the Vortex can make any waves again.
We are indebted to you for your assistance. If the Adepti hadn't happened to be here, the future of Liyue Harbor would surely have been in great jeopardy.
Save your flattery. We didn't just happen to be here. Surely you won't pretend to have forgotten the reason for which we came.
Come now. There's no need for such harsh words, Cloud Retainer. I've heard that when Ningguang began learning to do business, she had already started setting aside part of her then limited income in preparation for building the Jade Chamber. At first, it was only the size of a small room, but with continued expansion, it has become the palace that lies before you now. It is a testament to Ningguang's entire life, both as a businesswoman and as the backbone of the Liyue Qixing. Seeing the Jade Chamber destroyed in the defense of Liyue means much to her. To me, such cooperation and sacrifice deserves at least some recognition, don't you agree?
Well, I was really hoping you would say that such sacrifice could at least be used as some leverage in our negotiations. Thank you all for hearing me out. We know very well why the Adepti came here today. But please forgive us. We cannot yield to your wishes.
Oh?
3,700 years. According to our records, the Adepti signed a contract with Rex Lapis to protect Liyue 3,700 years ago. Even to this very day, Liyue and its lands have stood the test of time, immovable as stone, just as it was thousands of years before. This is truly no small feat. But that does not mean that the Liyue of today is the same city as it was all those years ago. Do not merely cast your protective gaze upon the land. Instead, focus your sights on our city and each of the citizens that dwell within it.
Are you questioning our means of protecting Liyue?
I mean no offense. I simply hope that our Adepti forebears would see Liyue in a new light.
Forebearers, you say? One doubts you would be fit to be part of such a lineage.
This morning, Rex Lapis appeared to me in a dream.
What?
In the dream, I yearned to tell him that we Qixing, though mortal, are equally bound to the contract. Each passing generation of the Qixing leaves many things of value to be inherited by the next generation. I also thought to tell him how the past generations of Qixing had strove under his rule to survive in our mortal world, establishing a network of contracts which has since come to be known as trade. But I dared not speak. I could only gaze at him in silence until the moment I awoke.
Oh, Ningguang.
Yet another perspective. What are you trying to say, Outlander?
Right! That's something that happened in Mondstadt. It's a story about the Four Winds and the people of the Animal Archon. The Animal Archon sought to quell the strife between the two sides, because he believed that such conflict would only scar the hearts of both, and that nothing good would come of it.
Each of the 7 nations has its own scars from the past.
Though your point is the very height of simplicity. As Adepti, we've become a laughingstock, to be chastised thus by an outlander who has lent us such succor.
All right, all right. Didn't Ningguang suggest that we should focus on the city and each of its citizens? I know I already have, so why not see for yourselves?
I apologize for appearing in full armor. I am afraid I cannot show the proper courtesies.
And who are you?
I am Feng Yan, a sergeant of the Millelith. I have come to extend my thanks to the Adepti. I thought this battle would perhaps be my last. But thanks to the aid of the Adepti, our forces were not as badly battered as I feared we might be. Although I am a mere mortal soldier, I promise to hold the line and never betray the grace given to us by the illuminated Adepti this day.
Huh? Why does everyone look so down? Didn't we just beat that big monster?
Weren't you frightened, dear? It was quite the predicament.
I wasn't afraid. All the strong Millelith guards were there, and those powerful heroes with their visions were there. Everyone was there. When danger is near, everyone always protects me. And the rest of the time, they make fun toys and tasty snacks and loads of things that make the harbor so pretty. Thanks for protecting Liyue Harbor. Please come visit us for the next lantern rite.
Unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to participate.
Huh?
Because we are Adepti.
Oh, okay. It must be hard being an Adeptus. Aww.
You see, this is what Liyue is like today. The country of contracts is grateful to the Adepti for their protection, but it is no longer necessary for the city to rely on the Adepti's power to solve every little niggling matter. Although their blood is weak, there is still strength to be found in those we call mortals. The time of contracts between gods and Liyue has long since passed. Now is the time of contracts between Liyue and its people.
Seeing the port around us now, it is hard not to feel a bit out of place. Wouldn't you say so, Cloud Retainer?
Your line of inquiry is askew. One did not spearhead this expedition to Liyue Harbor.
Seems like the Adepti have had a change of heart.
Let us return now.
Eager to leave, Conqueror of Demons.
Yes, one understands what the Conqueror of Demons means. The city of Liyue has changed much after our long separation. One fears that by the time one finally grasps the new contracts of Liyue, you humans would have once again changed the place beyond recognition. Fair enough. Away we shall, and return whence we came.
Since we Adepti have consensus, then one shall persist no further. But how will we ensure that the Liyue Qixing will not simply exploit their power once we depart? In my view, that is still a thing to be guarded against.
All right, Mooncarver, you needn't worry. It seems to me that this right of supervision is best left to the people of Liyue.
Looks like the conflict between humans and Adepti was avoided. All's well that ends well, huh? Oh, right! It's nice that we've got peace and all, but we're forgetting one thing. Child wanted to unleash the god so he could lure Rex Lapis out. But we were able to handle the Overlord of the Vortex on our own, so Rex Lapis never showed up. Oh, and speaking of that, don't we still need to get to the bottom of that Archon's death, too? Paimon doesn't get it. But isn't the strongest lead we have the Adeptiless rite of parting that we're organizing? No idea where Zhongli's gone. Let's ask for him at Wangshen Funeral Parlor.
Wait.
Is there anything I can do for you two? I'm afraid that Wangshen Funeral Parlor isn't in the best state to receive guests.
We've come to see Zhongli. Could you please tell him we're here?
Unfortunately, Zhongli isn't here at the moment. It seems he went to Northland Bank.
Doesn't the Northland Bank belong to the Fatui? Last time we saw Zhongli was before we went to the Golden House. Do you think he doesn't know about the attack on Liyue? Visiting the Fatui at a time like this could only mean more trouble. We had better go and make sure that everything is okay.
Will surely prevail.
You call this cooperation between Harbingers? Cooperation involves communication, you know.
Don't take it to heart, child. Besides, aren't you happy that you got to skip the formalities and bring chaos to the land? I'm sure you must have enjoyed that. Oh. It seems that some of your friends have arrived.
Hey, it's Zhongli and Child. And...
It's you two. I believe we've met once before. In the city of Bards, was it? I'm glad you still remember my name. Ah, right. I imagine that it must have been rather hard to forget.
No, don't let her get to you. You've yet to gather the powers of all seven, so it might be best to keep things peaceful this time.
Well, if it isn't you two. This is our first time seeing each other since Liyue was nearly wiped off the map. This is certainly a bit awkward, would...
Paimon knew that we should never have trusted a
Oh, now don't say that. Sure, I may have misled you, but I never had anything against you personally. Besides, I thought we were getting along quite well together, didn't you? Except for that little tussle we had at the end. Nothing personal. We just have different views, that's all. The real deceivers here are Senora and Zhongli. curse them for leading me on. So actually...
Stop wasting time, child. You remember the agreement, Morax. Now, if you would be so kind. The no...
What in the world are you talking about?
The contract is fulfilled. That which thou seeketh is now bestowed unto thee, for my promise.
How sanctimonious.
What? So you're the Lord of Chio? No, wait! That's an exciting twist and all, but...
I do not give it for free. I give it as agreed upon in the contract.
Yeah, you don't think you went a little bit too far with that whole fake death thing? Everyone was preparing the ceremony for you, and splat! This big dragon falls out of the sky, and all of Liyue goes into an uproar.
Gathering all the forces that had been bubbling behind the scenes, and then stirring them together in a pot that was bound to boil over.
Wait, what?
Perhaps it's best that I explain. As you know, I've dwelt upon this world for more than 6,000 years. It is now 3,700 years ago that I founded Liyue together with the Adepti. Even boulders that can withstand whirlpools will erode with the passing of time. I kept convincing myself until one drizzly day. As I was strolling along the harbor, I heard a merchant tell one of his workers, "You finished your duties." I stood motionless among the crowds, asking,
Oh, Zhongli.
but as I began to consider relinquishing my divine role, I soon was Liyue, the city I had dwelt in for so long, so I feigned my own death, and gathered the cast of child. Indeed I was. The gnosis which I had kept for so many years suddenly seemed to have lost its meaning. That's right. Which is why I continued to...
So you mean that if the chaos ever reached the point of no return...
Of course. And it would have been all too easy for him, too. Just as a child quickly matures after losing their parents, so has Liyue matured.
In the end, the resolution to all that has transpired was even more satisfactory. Take the Adepti, for instance. Owing to their years of seclusion, they were the least informed. Yet when faced with a crisis, they commendably showed the greatest amount of restraint possible. Not only did they manage to cooperate, credit is also due to Signora, the emissary dispatched by the Cryo-Archon to fulfill our contract. At my request, she kept everything she knew in strict confidence. This despite the eavesdropping ears of her colleague, Child. This meant I could remain as Zhongli, even having the chance to fulfill the age-old traditions of Liyue. All of these things turned out as I had planned. There is only one thing that I had not anticipated, and that was that I had expected them to do no more than the Adepti, to come to the defense of Liyue. But when they seized the opportunity to supplant Liyue's divine protectors, and used the subsequent power vacuum left by my death to quickly gain complete...
Huh? That doesn't...
On the contrary, I think it is excellent. I had always feared that it...
Hey, what about me? Doesn't anyone feel the...
I think that thanks would be more appropriate. You certainly played no small part. If you hadn't created the pressure of a
Huh? Just whose side are you on, mocking me like that? Are you it? Hey, haven't you learned the Liyue saying, don't...
Well then, with the gnosis in my possession...
Fine. I'll meet you there.
Do as you wish.
Now then, is there anything else you wish to ask me?
Right! As Zhongli always told us, a good trade is a fair trade. Paimon has no idea what could be a good trade for a gnosis.
Realistically speaking, there is no such thing.
Huh?
However, I am the god of contracts. For thousands of years, I have made countless contracts. My agreement with the Cryo Archon will be the last of my contracts as the Geo Archon. My contract. As for the bargaining chip that the Tsaritsa used to balance the scales, uncover that answer for yourself in your future journeys.
Today's the day of the rite of parting. Although the star of the show is fake, we spent so much time trying to organize it, it would be a real shame not to go there now.
Neighborhood.
Oh, well, since we're going through with this rite of parting, I guess it means that those rooms.
So Rex Lapis is really...
Oh, come on. Do you think that the assassin could have been a normal person? You know what I think? There's only one real possibility in my mind. I've heard that the assassin was that Fatui fellow. Young
Fatui? They certainly are...
Shh! Lower your voice.
You know that god from the ocean couldn't have just shown up out of nowhere. I mean, it's been 2,000 years.
Yes, and to think that this happened right on the heels of the
Say, do you think the person who is...
Now that you mention it, I mean, it all fits together. Still, what sort of supernatural prowess?
Ah, forget it. Guess it...
Hear ye all! The Qixing's words. Though a dragon soars ageless as the mountains, it too must return to dust. This is common knowledge. Gods and Adepti live glorious lives, but both light and shadow have their season. So too must they face divinely appointed trials. Rumors and hearsay abound on the streets that Rex Lapis was murdered. Now, let the truth be revealed. Having been thwarted in his trial, Rex Lapis's soul has recouped the celestial heights. He beseeches the people of Liyue to grieve not and to let not their hearts be saddened. Nor are they to believe street-born rumors or indulge in baseless speculation.
Paimon needs a translation on what the Qixing's announcement said. So that's how they're spinning it. Something feels off. Why would they suddenly give up looking for the murderer? Could the Qixing already have known that Rex Lapis? Did Zhongli tell them in secret? Exactly, right? Look, it's Ningguang and Qixing. Are they saying something? Are they...
As said previously, Rex Lapis's...
3,700 years of contracts burnt and reduced.
We, the people of Liyue, were indeed prosperous. But blinded by our prosperity, we forgot that...
The long, unending dream of...
Now that we have awoken from our dream, we must learn to... Will you stand with us as we re-establish our contracts? As we build a new age of prosperity?
So concludes the words of Her Eminence. Does Her Eminence the Yuheng have anything to add?
Huh? Is she looking this way?
Traveler.
Yikes! She really is looking our way!
Is that the traveler who they say defeated the ancient god?
So young. The Liyue Qixing always repay their debts. And as you have heard, our eyes see far and our reach is long. Name your price. You deserve that much.
Whoa.
Well, could you help me put up some missing person posters?
As for the mortals and adepti of Liyue, what shape shall our...
Perhaps.
Roping you in was possibly the most masterful move we could have made.
Hey, Zhongli! Look at this. Everyone in Liyue is caught up in their emotions, and here you are looking all relaxed.
Why would I not feel more at ease after laying down the burden I have borne for 3,700 years? Right, if the two of you can...
Ha! That sounds like big talk, Zhongli. Paimon might have believed you if you were treating us to some third-round knockout, but you'd have to pay out your nose just to stand inside Qinyue kiosk. Are you sure you can afford it?
You're right. I do like the Mora. As the Rex Lapis Morax, I can easily create Mora. But since I have chosen to walk this earth as the mortal Zhongli, I should abide by the same rules that mortals do. When I was journeying with you, though I still had the Gnosis in hand, I knew that I must soon retire from my role as an Archon, so I had to rehearse a little for my new life.
Oh, no wonder! Paimon gets it now. You didn't look at the price tags when we were spending because you've never had to. But since you weren't used to not being able to just make more Mora as and when you wanted to, you had to try becoming a parasite to society who lives off of other people's credit.
Well, we were only spending Fatui money. You don't have to say it like that. In the City of Commerce, we do not merely exchange money or goods. We also exchange knowledge, memories, and foresight, as well as positions, roles, and lives. The Archon Morax could never experience life as the true mortal Zhongli could, no matter how many times he descended to be with his people. I must thank you for that. I will treasure the memories that I made as Zhongli. That is true.
Paimon thinks that...
I fear that continuing your journey may be difficult. The nation that neighbors Liyue by sea, Inazuma, is presently closed. The Electro-Archon Ball. And just as the people of Liyue preferred to call me Rex Lapis, she too goes by another name among locals in Inazuma.
Paimon thinks we've heard that one before. Raiden?
That is the case. And since Raiden is also the Shogun of Inazuma, people call her the Raiden Shogun.
That said, though people at the wharf were saying that the situation in Inazuma is very tense, Paimon doesn't remember that always being the case. It wasn't that bad last year. Zhongli, since you're Rex Lapis, shouldn't you know something about what's happening there? Just how did Inazuma become a closed nation?
It's because of visions.
Visions?
When faced with circumstances beyond their control, humans often bemoan their lack of power. But if a person shows true strength of will at a desperate and fateful moment in their life, the gods will look upon them with favor. This is what visions are. Magical foci bestowed upon those who have been acknowledged by the gods.
Uh-huh. That's how people in Teyvat see it.
But starting from last year, the Raiden Shogun began promulgating the Vision Hunt Decree.
Vision Hunt Decree?
Yes. It was an order to seize all visions within Inazuma's borders, and to inlay them upon the hands of the statue of the omnipresent god.
They want to seize visions. But why? Aren't visions blessings from the gods?
I should think that in the Raiden Shogun's eyes, it is precisely because they are divine blessings that they should be under the sole dominion of divinity.
Whoa, that's harsh.
The Anemo Archon is the god of freedom, and the Geo Archon is the god of contracts. For her part, the Raiden Shogun is the god of eternity. It seems as though she has finally decided to eliminate any unstable elements that could pose a threat to her eternal realm. The fact that even I, the oldest of the seven, have now passed away, will only strengthen her resolve to pursue eternity. Knowing her, she must have again quoted that adage she is most fond of when proclaiming that decree to her people. 7 ideals for 7 gods, and of these, eternity is nearest unto the heavenly principles. All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know? Ah, that was a good one. That said, the reason why the Qixing were so eager to resolve the incident and stop pursuing the culprit was indeed because they received... I hinted as much to the Adepti as well. How did I accomplish that, you ask? Have you ever heard of this particular... All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know? Well then, I suppose you'll have to find a way to get inside this closed...
Ooh, fishing. Yeah. A minute. This one is Arcane Quest. $30. With other quests. Act 1. And these are story quests. And for now, I'll just do the cheap-out one. The other one I'll do it as the next stream.
children, come.
Oh, what is...
Oh, no. In fact...
A gift? For Paimon?
Oh, child. When you traversed my old teapot, that simply won't do. Fortunately, I have not yet... Oh, did my friends never mention that to you? Well then, it is a... I will not go into the teapot that you entered previously.
So, in the eyes of an Adeptus, creating a magic teapot world is just...
Oh, indeed, but that's enough nostalgia for now.
That's right!
Oh, settle down now, children. There's no need. What's more, I doubt... Well, for starters, I require some you would have to dig deep, but almost no one is even more difficult. In any case, Smaragdus Jadeite is an Adepti. Goodness knows if that child...
Well, since you're an Adeptus, Granny, the person you have...
Yes, I suppose...
She counts? How come there are so many Adepti in Liyue Harbor? We seem to bump into them all the time. It feels like even when you go out to eat, you could be...
Oh, maybe so.
I'm back, Granny. Oh, I don't believe we've met.
Allow me to do the honors. This child here is Yanfei. She's the one helping run some errands for me. Yanfei, I believe you already heard of the Traveler and his traveling companion.
Of course, who hasn't? Much has been written about you in the Millelith. You became one of Liyue's most wanted after the Millelith marked you as a suspect following the incident before finally defeating an ancient god. A shame that we didn't meet soon. If we had, well, I can't say that I would have been able to clear you of suspicion immediately. Allow me to introduce myself once more. I'm Yen. Oh, yes. Here's my business card. You'll find it has my... If you have an urgent issue...
All right, Yanfei, all right. You'll have to excuse Yanfei.
Paimon was gonna ask the same question. You seem really different from the ones we've met before.
An Adeptus? I guess. Kinda. My old man said he was one anyway. He mentioned that he once campaigned with Rex Lapis for a long old time, and then after that was all over, he went back and married my mom. They had me, and once I was all grown up, the two of them upped and left on a journey, leaving me with Granny here.
Well, that's a bit casual for an Adeptus. Aren't you guys supposed to sign solemn contracts to protect...
Well, my dad did say that he'd talked it through with Rex Lapis, and that he was fine with it. Even contributed towards the wedding gift, apparently. Anyway, let's not dwell on that too much. So, Granny, I've gotten a hold of most of...
Is that so, Yanfei? Are you sure?
I know, Granny, you've told me 1,000 times already. Well, the chasm's definitely a no-go, but there's still a chance we can figure...
Whoa, that's a really thick book.
Commercial consultancy. Oh, Krustle. A Snezhnayan merchant who once came to me with some legal... He mentioned that he was considering acquiring, so I guess I'll go look for him. With any luck... Oh, you want to join me?
Wow, an Adeptus imploring us to... Best we be a little more...
Feel free to look around. There's no obligation.
We're looking for the Liyue volume of the Teyvat Travel...
Sorry, dear. We stopped stocking that a very...
But the Mondstadt volume was so interesting!
The thing is, the author made it too personal, and the result wasn't really much of a guide. It barely sold any copies, and the few travelers that did buy...
Well, that's a shame. The Mondstadt volume was a good read, even just as an adventure...
The fact remains that I don't have it in stock. If you...
Who's Qingven?
A book collector who lives in Qixing. He was a regular customer here back when he...
Did somebody say out of print book? Is there a chance that Volume 6 of Legend of the Shattered Halberd is also in his collection? Apologies, my liege. Where are my manners? My name is Sing Cho. Since you and I are both in search of lost books, my pleasure, fellow.
Should we ask here if they have a copy of the Liyue volume of the Teyvat travel guide? It's super duper interesting.
Limbs are a requirement for locomotion on land.
I can't wait to see my adorable daughter again.
Seconds to tell me what you need.
Let me finish.
Hello, Mr. Crossell.
Oh, good, very good. All thanks to your advice, Miss.
You're too kind. I was simply doing my job. Now, I believe that the last time we met, you met.
Well, yes, as a matter of fact, in the end I did acquire a small piece of Miss Yanfei. Might I presume that you have an interest in the hairpins? I must apologize, I've already rented them out to a lady named Zhiqiao. If you'd like to inspect them, you may have...
Wait, isn't Smaragdus Jadeite really rare? Aren't you worried about the hairpins getting damaged or lost while they're being rented out?
No, I'm not worried in the slightest, because I signed a contract with Miss Zhiqiao before renting them to her. The contract makes it quite clear that if she loses or damages the item in question, she must compensate me for its full original value. In return, I included a clause that guarantees the Smaragdus Jadeite is genuine, with a penalty of 10 times the item's value payable by me to Miss Zhiqiao in the event that it is shown to be a fake.
Guaranteed genuine, with 10 times the value payable if this claim is shown to be false. Yes, these terms are very clear indeed.
Of course. This way, both the client and I have the assurance we need. To ensure fairness, each of us has retained an original copy of the contract.
In that case, might you know where Miss Zhiqiao lives? We'd like to pay her a
Oh, of course. She wrote her ad.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Crossell.
Bored. See some action.
Oh, whatever shall I do? Yes, that's me.
How do you do, Miss Zhiqiao? We understand from Mr. Crossell. My associates and I are very interested in them.
The hairpins. I don't know how it could have happened. I always kept them right by my... I spent so much money on them. If I have to pay their... My family is in the ore business too. but business has been... We now have a backlog of paid-up orders just sitting around, so we've been having to purchase some stock from other ore merchants to complete them. A big banquet is coming up in a few days, and several ore merchants I know of will be there. That's what the hairpins were for, to... But now that I've lost the hair...
Why does Paimon have a sudden strong sense of deja vu?
Would you really? I sent a commission to the Adventurers Guild.
Hold on. Don't run off looking for the hairpins just yet. Miss Chow, would you let me have a look at the rental contract you signed?
Huh? Well, I mean, sure, I have it right here. Here you are.
Let me see.
That's right! Yanfei said she's a legal advisor, didn't she? Maybe she... True.
Right. I finished reading the contract. The terms are very clear, and they do indeed stipulate that you must... Furthermore, the contract also expressly states that the amount of compensation must take current market prices into account, and given the rarity of Smaragdus Jadeite, I fear that the final amount of compensation...
Even higher? Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
However, all of this is assuming that it is indeed genuine Smaragdus Jadeite that was inlaid into the...
Did you really have to pause before saying that part? Anyway, the hairpin, whichever way you look at it, we've got to...
Except that if we found the hairpins, there'd no longer be any need...
Please. Please, don't trouble you, however much it is, now that it's come to this.
Yes, legally speaking, it seems this is the most sensible course of action. So hold on a moment, Mr. Chow. When you first touched the hairpins,
What did I feel? Well, I remember that the gems... My family has seen much jade pass through its hands in the past.
Smooth to the touch. No, it's nothing. I just need to re-examine a few things.
Ah, Miss Yanfei, you've returned. With Miss Jiqiao in tow, too, I see. How are the hairpins? I You lost them? Are you...
I'm sorry,
Mora! Do you have any idea what I had to... I just don't... Forget it. Talking won't bring them back. Since Miss Yan...
No problem. But before I can give an official estimate, I'll need to do a little market research. Yeah, it was in fact genuine Smaragdus Jadeite inlaid into the hairpins.
Of course! Genuine article guaranteed.
All right, understood. I'll conduct some market research, and once I'm back, I'll provide an official assessment of the sum owed by Mr. Chow in compensation. Please wait here, Miss...
Thank you very much. How could she lose my hairpins?
Looks like I'll have to find some way to...
Please wait, Mr. Chow. I have something to... It's not convenient to speak here, so let's find...
Miss Yanfei, what is this about?
No. What I wanted to talk about is, there is a chance that the ore inlaid on those hairpins may...
What do you mean?
Obviously not. I'm no adventurer, let alone a member of the guild. I don't run thankless, time-consuming errands for a living. Let's just say, I don't know if Granny told you this, but Smaragdus Jadeite is found deep underground and contains very concentrated elemental energy. If mere mortals come into contact with it, well, they'll be sick in the best case. And in the worst case, they could even experience a dramatic change of personality. It most certainly would not be smooth to the touch. Mr. Chow, did you at any time feel unwell?
No, not at all. I felt perfectly fine the whole time. Not even the slightest bit unwell.
Now that is strange. If I've deduced correctly, he may still have the
If that's the case, we should go confront him right...
Absolutely not.
If we were to confront him now, there's no way. And then he'd throw the Smaragdus Jadeite into the sea the moment we were gone. After that, he would simply insist that Mr. Chow. Meanwhile, we would have to look under every stone in Liyue, hoping and praying that the hairpins.
So vivid that Paimon thinks it might be
Oh, it certainly is. I've seen my fair share of situations like this, and brute force methods are certainly one way of resolving them.
Well then, since you're so experienced in dealing—
Oh, that won't be a problem. But first, Miss—
Huh? Does there have to be a contract for everything? Paimon feels like Yanfei is even more concerned with them.
These are my formal terms of engagement. Everything prior to now has just been pro bono advice. But for me to investigate any further, I require any work commissioned but not bound by a contract cannot be relied upon.
I understand. Then I will be glad to—
No problem. Just sign here. And I'll sign too. Okay. And I'll also need your signatures on pages 5, 7, and on the very last page. Finally, if you could just use this ink pad to make a handprint over here.
This contract has so many pages. Paimon's
all right, that should do it. My fees are the same as always, and they're written in the contract. Have a look through.
I've had a read through.
Well then, here's your copy of the contract. I will retain the other copy. Not for now, no. Despite how intractable this problem might sound, it will actually be— I don't believe you have been part of an investigation like this before.
Miss Yunfei, I have to ask—
Because, as it happens, I'm currently trying to acquire some Smaragdus Jadeite myself. I noticed strong traces of geo-energy around Mr. Crossel, so perhaps whether he actually made it into an item of jewelry or not is a separate matter. But either way, it's a lead. Also, the idea of someone abusing the law to their advantage, I won't. But again, let's not dwell on this. Ha! I've got it! If Mr. Crossel had his ore worked on—
Why, hello there, honored customers. Surely not more spurious claims that my jade betting is rigged and no one—
No, nothing of the sort. Has a Snezhnayan merchant named Crossel enlisted your ore processing services recently?
A Snezhnayan merchant? I do remember that. He brought me a piece of— That was the first time I'd ever encountered it, so I had no way of telling if it was really Smaragdus Jadeite or not. But if a customer insists, far be it from me to contradict them. He was quite generous with his money, too, so I didn't give it too much thought. I processed the ore as per his request.
Do you
Why, yes. It was my—
Thank you, sir. We'll take a—
Huh? If my eyes don't deceive me, the cross-sections and patterning suggest that these are Smaragdus nephrite shavings. Yes, it's not particularly rare, nor is it especially valuable. It's used to make jewelry all the time. I've heard it said that Smaragdus nephrite is in fact the outer layer of Smaragdus Jadeite, though no one's ever proven it.
A thin layer of separation, huh?
If you must see for yourself, try examining these shavings for traces of elemental—
Is that so? So, did you find anything? So they really are different. But wait, how come Jichao is able to tell what it was just by looking at the—
There's nothing special to it. It just so happens that I've come across a great many of these in my time. These two stones actually look very similar. Someone without a deep understanding of them would find it very difficult to tell them apart. There may be only a subtle difference for the casual viewer, but that translates to an astronomical difference in terms of the market price, and, I'm sure, a significant difference in the cost of having them carved into shape.
All right, let's focus up. We're going off on a tangent.
But never mind, Shirto.
Unusual actions have unusual reasons behind them.
What should I try this time?
Miss Yanfei? Might I be so bold?
If you could just confirm for me once more, sir. Mr. Crossell did indeed claim that the ore he brought to your store was in fact smaragd.
Yes, that's right. I still have a record of the job with me, in fact. Here.
Then I have no further questions. But could I borrow the processing record and these stone shavings?
Of course.
Oh, I have my reasons. Ah, yes. Please sign here on this. This document shall serve as signed proof that these stone shavings originated from the, ore that Mr. Crossell...
Yes, I see.
I wouldn't say there's been an incident, just a minor issue. Thank you, sir.
With this hard evidence to back us...
On the contrary, this is far... If you want to make jewelry, you need a professional jewelsmith. Let me think. Jewelry. Aha! Got it! Sinxie. She often helps people to find a jewelsmith.
Well, that was quick. How come you know so...
Because lots of people come to me for legal advice every day. As you know, Liyue Harbor is the city of but the amendments made by the... As such, legal advice...
So you helped them...
Yes, well, that's no obstacle.
You...
You sound surprised. Knowing the law inside out is... Oh, this has nothing to do with being an adept.
Again, with that casual tone?
Well, that's that then.
Oh, Miss Yenfei, it's you.
Have no further trouble from then on? Yes, of course. Has a merchant by the name of
Crossell. Yes, I remember him. He's a merchant from the design of the hairpins that he gave me was quite intricate, so it took me some work to find someone who was up to the job. This order was on hold for a very long time, and only completed quite recently.
Doesn't seem like there's any evidence.
Miss Sinxie, I'd like for you to confirm for me once more. When Mr. Cross...
Yes, I'm sure of it. The hairpins were made using many expensive materials, and the asking price was quite high, so we had to put this transaction on record with the Ministry of Civil Affairs. Mr. Crossell wasn't very familiar with the necessary procedures, so I filed it on his behalf. I also kept a copy for my own records. See for yourself. The item is called Smaragdus Jadeite Twin Phoenix Pins. The inlaid gemstone is recorded as Smaragdus Jadeite. The document...
Thank you, Sinxie. Now, could you...
Sure. It isn't serving much purpose here anyway. I take it then that there's...
Nothing you need to worry about. Just a minor issue. I'll return your document as soon as I'm done with it. Thanks again.
Why is everyone's first reaction always to assume someone or
I believe we have almost all the evidence we need. We just need to...
The weirdo with the snake around his neck?
Because only he can provide... And once we have this final...
My, to what do I owe the pleasure? Though I'm afraid that if you're looking for our little Chi-Chi, she's out gathering herbs. And if it isn't Miss Yanfei as...
No. I'm here this time.
Smaragdus jadeite? Why, yes, there is some information about it. The Seven Mountain Treatise. It is abundant in element... Anyway, I'm sure... I suppose that you're about to ask me to write an official affidavit attesting to the pharmaceutical peculiarities of...
That is indeed the case. If you...
No trouble at all. But after I gave him my reply, his expression shifted to one of remarkable disappointment. I wonder, Miss Yen...
You needn't concern yourself.
You're too kind.
That Baiju guy is as weird as ever. Is it just Paimon, or does it feel like he was fishing for something back there?
Dr. Baiju's always been like that. Well, we have the evidence we need. Let's go find Mr. Crossell.
Miss Yanfei, have you finished your investigation? I trust you will now be in a position to assess the compensation due.
Yes, my investigation is indeed concluded. I can now provide a final figure for the amount payable.
Wonderful. Well then, please, could you do the honors, Miss Yanfei?
Of course. According to the stipulations of the contract, Mr. Crossell, you must pay Mr. Chow 10 times the original transaction price in Mora.
Sure. Wait, what? Me pay her? Surely there's been some kind of mistake, Miss Yanfei.
Not at all. According to my investigations and the material evidence that we've gathered, the substance claimed to be Smaragdus jadeite that was inlaid within the Smaragdus jadeite twin phoenix pins that you rented out to Mr. Chow was, in fact, Smaragdus nephrite. Now, the contract states very clearly that 10 times the price shall be paid should the article not be genuine. Accordingly, you are liable for this sum, which is payable to Mr. Chow in Mora.
Material evidence? What material evidence? Why, Miss Yanfei, you cannot frame me like this. I spent a huge sum to obtain that Smaragdus jadeite, and yet you claim that the ore inlaid on the hairpins is somehow fake? I demand to see your evidence.
Indeed. Only a testimony from an expert witness involved in the processing of the ore can serve as an authoritative assessment of whether it is genuine. Traveler, this is a processing record from the Jade Mystery, along with stone samples and an affidavit signed by the business owner, Chateau.
Seriously? Even the boss there couldn't differentiate between Smaragdus jadeite and Smaragdus nephrite. How does this prove anything? In any case, Smaragdus...
That's an
Well, your claim that my ore is fake is just as unsubstantial.
Looks like our first hard evidence. Oh, come on. I meant the backup copy of the document from the minute...
This document proves that my...
Our second piece of evidence...
You know, you could be right. Perhaps the...
Of course I'm right. All the evidence shown support...
Well, hang on a moment now, because I do... Traveler, would you do the honors?
What's...
Smaragdus jadeite springs forth from stone marrow within the mountains and will bring disaster to any mere mortals who touch it. Sustained contact with Smaragdus jadeite over a prolonged period will, in less serious cases, cause a mild malady, while in serious cases, the patient may suffer a dramatic change of personality and fall seriously ill. Mr. Crossell, were you aware of these peculiar properties of Smaragdus jadeite?
I had no idea.
No idea, you say? I'd guessed as much. But for you to have rented out such a dangerous item, I'm afraid that this falls outside the scope of my work, but within that of the Ministry of Civil Affairs. However, I'm sure that the Ministry will be relatively lenient considering that, as you say, you were ignorant of the danger you posed. Don't worry, Mr. Crossell. I will make sure that all the evidence presented here will be handed over to the Ministry. I trust that you'll give them your full cooperation in their investigations.
What? Wait! I knew.
Oh, so you knew? Oh, dear Mr. Crossell. But if you knew of Smaragdus jadeite's dangerous properties beforehand, why would you...
Huh? No, The hairpins aren't actually
inlaid with genuine Smaragdus Jadeite? You do understand, Mr. Crossell, that this means... Mr. Crossell, your aunt...
Yep, he's seriously intimidating, right?
I admit it. But I'm a victim in all of this too. But after receiving it and carrying it around for a few days, I started to feel extreme discomfort. I went to Boo Boo Pharmacy to get myself checked out, only to discover that this sort of stone cannot be worn as jewelry. But how could I let... That's why I had another pair of hairpins made from Smaragdus Neph. I kept the real Smaragdus Jadeite in a specially made box. I was worried that someone would see through it.
Exactly! If they weren't the real deal, why'd you make...
I didn't want to either, but when I purchased that Smaragdus Jadeite, some of my business partners found out. I knew they'd be watching closely to see... If word got out that I sold a pair of fake hairpins, then...
All right, let's cut the appeals phase right there. I failed to see what bearing any of this has on your transaction with my client. According to the contract, you must pay Mr. Chow...
10 times.
Crossell looks like he could faint any second.
As for me, according to my contract with Mr. Chow,
20%? That's as much as I spent...
There's no need. It's fine. You don't have to... Even if the Smaragdus Jadeite on those hairpins was fake, I still bear
Ms.
However, Mr. Crossell, since you have no use for that chunk of Smaragdus Jadeite, why don't...
What? But
Miss Yunfei, I'll turn the Smaragdus Jadeite over to you.
Well, that's not quite how the rules say this should go.
Thanks so much for your help this time, Miss Yunfei.
Oh, come on. No need to stand on
Well
then, that's good. Mr. Crossell, it seems that my client has no further claim.
Is that so?
Actually, Mr. Cross, I could see from the hairpins you produce that you're very skilled in jewelry design. My family, on the other hand, if we could join forces...
Well, that's that. And we've got the Smaragdus Jadeite that Granny wants too. All's well.
Exactly. Usually when someone tells us they've lost some, even though
the right solution depends on your The objective of my client, Mr. Chow, was to reduce her liability to pay an Adeptus. Speaking of, you took part... Liyue Harbor is now a city ruled by the title of Adeptus. In any case, don't you think that the Liyue Harbor of
Paimon can think of someone who would definitely disagree with...
Well, since we got what we came for, it's time...
Ah, you've returned. How did it go? Were you able to find the Smaragdus Jadeite? Good. Then we have all the materials we need.
Well, if we're all set, Granny.
Oh, you. Oh.
I'm off then. Bye! Oh yes, Traveler. Make sure you don't... I've been looking into the laws of other nations as well. If you should ever bump into any...
Come now, child, are you...
I'm leaving! I'm leaving!
That child. Goodness knows. Indeed she is. Yanfei might... Liyue isn't... All right, then. Let us...
Oh, Paimon's so excited! How...
It is but a single teapot. It's... There we go. This, hold it firmly. If you were to drop it, take these blueprints with you as well.
Wait a minute, Granny!
Oh, you needn't...
This is a peaceful neighborhood.
Wow! This teapot seems even bigger inside than Madame Ping's! There's even a but there's just a whole load of nothing around it. Hey! There's a perfectly good house still. Oh, wait a second.
Wow, it seems that
it's a huge finch!
Excuse me, I am, hang on a moment. Oh, call me. I suppose you may...
So you're the...
Madam Ping? Oh, you may leave all matter. Your journey may be far from... Though it is the adept, thus, we teapot, you may consider me. Now, have you any blueprints on you? As long as you have a blueprint, you...
Blueprints?
Yes, these are the blueprints. Just commit the... Then simply
Wow! Is that all it takes? Then we could build a whole city inside, couldn't we?
I doubt it. A golden-eyed adeptus explained this. He said, this world is not a true...
A golden-eyed...
I hardly remember myself. What's more... Well, let's not... If there's anything you would like...
Maybe you're not used to the place at the moment. If you ever have... Maybe you're not... When breaking new, I'll teach you more.
I was supposed to start early, but my work can rob me dead. So that's why. But still, thanks for joining. I really appreciate it. Thanks. I'll see you next time.